Hi. Welcome to the TennoCon 2017 YouTuber panel. We have a lot of people here on stage with us today, and we're gonna ask them some questions. What are you laughing at already, Rob?
I'm looking at all of the trolling afterwards.
Yeah. You can already guess what I'm probably gonna bring up about what you've said in the past. But anyways, welcome. First, I would like to thank these amazing Warframe YouTubers for being up here today, so thank you for joining me. Hopefully, yes, thank you. Hopefully my questions will be better than last year's. If you guys don't know, that hour-long panel, I ran out of questions in 10 minutes. And I stood here and asked them random questions that I thought of in my head. It was very, very panicky. And thank you, Navi, thank you. And secondly, please be warned that this is a rated M game, and I can't control what Rob says. Now, you may know this group of gentlemen here on stage from their respective YouTube channels, but do you really know them? Do you? I don't know. We're about to find out. Do they really know themselves is also a question that we're going to find out. Do you really know which Warframe character Brozheim secretly ships together?
Did you look that up?
I mean, you could tell us.
I could.
Maybe it's a question later.
It's not a shipping, though, so...
I don't know what that means. Moving on. Or do you know about the strange shoebox full of fan art of Xenogelion as Oberon that Laws has under his bed?
You what? It's my special collection.
We have it later. We'll show it. Well, we might not be able to get some confessions out in the open about these guys, but we will attempt to get to know them and their amazing YouTube channels as well. My name is Megan Everett. I will be your moderator, mediator. Oh, that wasn't supposed to see Drake. Sorry. I wasn't ready to do that yet. We'll save Drake for a bit. I'm your moderator, mediator, and potentially, if I have to be, I will be the swift hand to the back of the neck. If anything happens up here, Rob, looking at you.
Should we move him closer, or...?
I can reach you. So audience, gentlemen to my left, get ready for the next hour and a half panel. Oh God, here we go. All right, so. It made sense, right? It makes sense. Drake, he's Canadian. I see you laughing at me. Thank you for the awkward clap in the back, that was great. So before we dive into potential dirty laundry, we're gonna talk about your channels from the start, kind of what you guys have gone through. So Magamu, as far as the public eye can see, your first Warframe video was about the Fang and how OP it was back in the day. Back in 2013, actually. When you made that video, considering it was your first Warframe video, did you have the plan from the beginning to make this a regular thing, or was it more just kind of a fun thing for you to upload to YouTube? Or were you planning on kind of making a consistent channel?
Hello? Oh, way too close. Well, first of all, every weapon was OP for me for like the first year, because it's like, this is cool. No, that's cool. It got out of control. It wasn't meant to be like an ongoing series. It's just that I had friends playing Warframe, and they stopped for a while because it wasn't as well optimized as it is now. So really, I was just making videos for them. It's just like, I would upload videos for my friends, they'd watch it, and they'd be like, oh, that's cool, bro. Like, I like the new weapon or whatever. And then other people started watching the videos. So I guess I just kept uploading. But everything was OP at the beginning because I was just so excited about everything. It's like, oh, that's great, that's a sword, that's a hammer, and it just spiraled out of control. Just ignore everything I said for like the first year.
Everything changes. The Fang is no longer OP to you?
Sure.
We won't talk about the Fang. And when did the hive mind start? And can you explain to people what that means?
The what?
The hive mind.
Okay, that's not my fault, like everything else. So I was making builds, and someone said that the perception was that if you suggest something, then you're saying you should do it that way. That's not really what I was saying, but then it became a joke. So many people said, oh, you've got to do it that way, that in one video, I was like, oh, you guys can build your weapons your own way. And I was like, unless you join the Magamu hive mind forever, then you have to build your weapons my way. And then people started calling it the hive mind, so it's just...
You just adopted it.
Yeah.
And you go with it.
It's not my fault again. Don't blame me.
If you keep going with it, then we have to blame you.
Technically.
He'll have to assume direct control.
That's correct. We're assuming direct control, Magana.
It's not my fault.
All right, moving on to Mr. Zeno Gel Lion, if you will.
Hi.
Hi. And Laws.
Hello.
Wait, I just realized I never introduced them. Awkward. We're gonna go. First, let's go through who's on stage, starting with Brosime.
Hello. Hi, I make internet videos.
So
That's good.
let's go with introduce yourself, where they can find your channel, and maybe the kind of content on your channel that they can look forward to.
Okay, you can find me as Brosime on everything. If twitch.tv/Brosime, youtube.com/Brosime. If you put it on the end of it, except for Pornhub, that's going to be AGDP here, then you're going to be able to find my stuff. And I make build videos, I do reviews of the entire roster of primaries and so on and so forth, and various other games. Right now, on streams and stuff, we're playing Persona 5 as well.
Very nice. Who are you?
Nobody.
My name is Magamu. And,
Wait, can you do your intro? Do your intro.
Okay, everyone keeps saying I have an accent when I say Warframe. Is that true?
Warframe.
I can't really
Maybe.
hear. All right, my name is Magamu. YouTube.com/Magamu. Sometimes on Twitch, but mostly I've been making videos for this game for about 4.5 years.
So if 2013 was your first video, then it's been about 4 years.
It's legit been half a decade.
Yeah.
But everything /Magamu, unless you people are stealing my username, I know you're in here. But for the most places, /Magamu and Warframe videos.
And hey, what's up, you guys? This is Rob from A Gay Guy Plays. And I'm sure you guys can probably find me, youtube.com/A Gay Guy Plays, Twitch, Twitter, all A Gay Guy Plays, as well as other sites that were mentioned earlier. No, I'm kidding. But if you do see it, like, favorite, subscribe. But I do a lot of Warframe content that's pretty varied, from fashion frame to builds to just kind of like general let's talk about things. I think the latest series was Rob Rants, where we literally just disseminate weird things that are happening in the lore or things that have been published. And we just talk about how weird and how, we talk about all of the conspiracy theories that are out there about what could possibly be. So I like to mix things up, keep things fun, keep things upbeat. So that's what I do.
Thanks, Rob.
Can you hear me? No?
Talk louder, Hydroxate.
Can you hear me?
There you go.
Okay. I'm Hydroxate. I'm an Irish YouTuber with the best Irish accent, Tactical Potato. And I do fashion frame videos. So
Fashion videos, yeah!
Yeah, I kind of like the Pinterest or like the Dulux paint book of fashion frame, just to give you some ideas.
Thank you.
I'm Zeno Gallion, and with my lovely co-host here, we run the longest Warframe podcast, nearly 200 episodes. We also do machinimas like Faulty Frame Squad and maybe something else on the side. And that's about it.
Yeah, I suppose I don't introduce myself, that was covering it all, but I'm MDR Loz, so yeah.
I'm Headshot from youtube.com/Headshot and twitch.tv/Headshot. I take weapons, stick a bunch of former on them, do the same with frames, and try and see what we can push it to, see how far we can push it.
Well, now that we know who we're asking about, and now I don't have any questions. Zeno and Laws, back to you. Whoop. I lost my slide, sorry. So let's go back to the beginning, because we'll dive kind of into where your channel is now in a bit, because I know some things are potentially changing. But 10 o'clock, which you said was the longest running podcast, which means it's longer than prime time, which I'm just finding out now. I thought
prime time started, I think, 2 weeks before we did. So you got there first.
Did we? But we're only at 190, 170 something.
Yeah, but you have weeks where you don't actually broadcast, like during Christmas and things. We keep going.
So you've never missed a week?
Once. 4 years.
Oh, that's embarrassing. Just kidding. I think we've missed like 50, to be honest. 10 o'clock, number 1, back in October of 2013, was clearly the start of an ongoing project for you guys. At what point did you decide to start taking on Faulty Frame Squad? And had you had any experiences before making these types of machinima comedic videos?
So I've always wanted to do a machinima, been inspired by things like Red vs. Blue, by Rooster Teeth, and you see like loads of small time things to do with World of Warcraft, and I always wanted to do something like that. Now, I've tried to actually do machinimas in the past, World of Warcraft based ones, but they were so difficult to organize. You need a lot of people to do it. In the end, I sort of decided, let's tone down trying to push for making a machinima and actually go for something to bring up more awareness on my channel, and then try again with the machinimas. So the machinima was always wanting to be done before 10 o'clock ever was, but we didn't really start planning it until about, I want to say January, February.
Well, we were inspired after we saw things could be done by Crash Omnis and Rhino Ninja.
Yeah, that's true.
That really inspired us to get started.
After that, we sat down in a Nando's, if any of you know what that is, and we came up with the idea of Faulty Frame Squad, which was 3 frames.
They were the worst. What we assumed were the worst 3 frames at the time, which we decided was Loki, Banshee, and Vault.
Thank you.
I don't know.
You could tell we were
I don't know
idiots
about
at that point.
That's a big statement right there.
After which, we started production in March. It took about a month to actually produce. Got that out there, and then as soon as we got that experience, we were able to produce them a lot more. And obviously now it's gotten a lot difficult.
Of course, with Arcwing, as we've mentioned. Machinima Arcwing is not easy, apparently.
No, Arcwing Machinima was traumatic.
I'm sorry. I think we have an Arcwing programmer sitting at the front of the stage. There he goes.
Can we have some like actual breaks, please?
In Arcwing?
Yes, please.
Talk to me. What do you mean?
You drift, so, you can't stop.
Are you using the Itzel? Because I can't stop with that either.
Yeah, you go so far. You go so far, and there's like no brakes.
So you want like a solid break.
Yeah, give me like the hardest possible break. Like from 7 million miles an hour to
Straight
0.
break. Do you guys want an Arcwing break? How do you feel about Arcwing breaks?
I just want more Arcwing, period.
More Arcwing. How does anyone else feel about that?
In the Jordis verdict style, perhaps?
In like a normal mission at Jordan's
No, in like a
Verdict?
raid.
What do you mean?
In like a raid setting, like Arcwing, and then also the rest of it.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah, I know it's not gonna happen.
Never say never with DE, but I don't know. Could be. All right, moving on to laws. So some of these questions I've actually gotten from these panelists, so they might be from them to certain people. So I don't know if Laws is going to tell who this is from. But Laws, what is it like working with Zeno on his crazy large projects that he never finishes?
Oh, he has great inspiration, but it's a constant effort prodding him continuously to keep working. Just every week. Just he keeps promising another Machinima episode or a new Machinima, I think he wants to make as well. But it's a constant job that I've taken on to encourage and motivate this man to work.
How many sticks have you broken?
Many sticks on his back, just getting him working.
And if maybe there was anyone in the audience that wanted to try their hand at Warframe Machinima, what tips could you give them?
Captura. Seriously, everyone should just do Captura regardless, because it will actually inspire DE to work on Captura more and thus make life easier for people making machinimas. Captura. I'm going to say it a few more times, Captura.
Well, Captura really is an amazing addition to the game, and it is a really powerful tool. The only limitation, I think Zeno will agree, is that we're limited with at the moment is the number of tile sets. But that's getting expanded with each patch that goes in. So if everyone out there, go and have a go, try and make a machinima. It is possible in Captura because it is that powerful. It is really good.
What Captura tile set would you like to see added?
All of them.
Okay, that doesn't count. You can't say all of them. You can get specific.
Can I get a very specific suggestion?
Sure.
Our ship.
Your ship.
Just our ship.
I like that.
Like just the Captura thing, just in our ship.
Yeah, that's cool.
Because we've got all those amazing cosmetics, and we have very limited ways to show that stuff to people.
Fair. I like it. Anyone else have a specific? Oh, Hydroxide already knows. He's like, fashion frame, I got you.
Lua.
Lua,
Yeah. Orc and Moon and the underwater tile sets are my
you want it.
favorite.
You want all that gold shiny.
I was actually going to say the Orokin period, because the only thing that we have that's Orokin right now at this very moment is the Lunaro field.
Yep.
And I was like, I used to take so many screenshots in missions where literally I would just load up like the survival, the Orokin survival, and just kind of like sit there static for a while trying to take screenshots back before we had Captura. And I kind of like miss those days where you get like all of the nice gold pretty things in the background.
All right. I'll think about it. I'll get back to my desk and see what I can do. All right, moving on to Mr. Hydroxate.
That's mine.
Do you like that? I did that
Yes.
myself. Taking some sweet screenshots.
Yeah.
All right, so you graced the YouTube realm with your Off the Runway videos
Yes.
back in February of 2016.
Yep.
Now we're all aware that fashion frame is clearly endgame, as you
Clearly.
say in every single one of your videos. But as the only purely fashion frame content creator on this stage, how did you approach starting a channel that was different than the more statistic build type channels that are pretty popular on YouTube and the community really likes to watch because they're interested in learning builds? How did you approach thinking I'm going to make a YouTube channel that's strictly fashion frame?
It's kind of it's the shortest long story. Because I was learning how to do After Effects and Premiere Pro at that point when I was doing my master's. And I was like, I want to make YouTube videos for Warframe. But when all the kind of builds and all the kind of stuff's over the same, it's like, okay, well, how can I make it stand out? Obviously, some people are like, oh, your accent's enough. I'm like, it's not.
Your accent is enough.
Tactical Potato is already the Irish, other Irish one. But he suggested himself, like, why don't you just do the stuff you like? I'm like, well, I like fashion frame, you know?
You were dressed as Rebecca earlier. I'm really sad that you're
I
not
know,
Rebecca
my hair
anymore.
was so hot.
It was so hot.
It was so good, and it was kind of weird because it's like, as I know Rob had Dress to Kill, and he has his like very subdued, like gem tones and desaturated looks, which I like personally, but I was kind of like, okay, there's a niche there that's not really being filled with more of kind of like complete various different looks.
You got to fill those niches.
Got to fill the niches. And it was that kind of thing, okay, maybe if I start doing it, and like Off the Runway was suggested by Philemon, another content creator, and Tactical Potato, because I was like, if I'm going to do fashion frame, I want to do it in the most ironic sense ever. And those kind of, very fashion critics are like, oh, you can see this looks inspired by the 1920s, or, like very in depth. I'm like, okay, we're going to go overboard and treat it as if it's like a runway with different looks, different themes, and see how can we look at a Warframe or a skin, break out what themes or what's the kind of concept of the actual Warframe itself, and pull inspiration from that and do looks. And since then, it's just been kind of getting better, getting my After Effects much, much better. Because my first video, if I look back, it's not good. And just giving basically people ideas, because when you see skins and we see items in the market, you see the default colors. You don't really see what way it could look, and certain frames, and especially with TennoCon, you don't know how they could look with your color scheme. So I just kind of want to give that palette, basically like the cosmetics we have in game, the default one might not suit you, but if you actually work around with it, they actually can be very nice. Because when you do online multiplayer games, personalization is very important. Players want to feel like that look is theirs. They want to be unique.
I might have my own color scheme. I don't know.
Very
Wait,
unique.
what do you think of my color scheme, by the way?
Unique.
Oh. It's like the worst answer. Sorry, continue.
Bubblegum Princess, I call it.
What's that?
Bubblegum Princess is what I call
Bubblegum
it.
Snot Princess, I think, is the new one. I don't really know. Gross.
So yeah, that's really it. Just kind of showcase what we have in game that's not just weapons, because weapons and Warframes are so much, but we have a plethora of stuff now to work with. Mm-hmm. And it's cool.
Is it difficult to come up with creative and kind of new looks that you haven't seen very? Is it like when you think you're making a video, how long is the process of trying to think of good outfits?
It depends, because I did a blog post a few months ago, like about Zephyr, how I approach that. But usually it's kind of okay. This is the frame. The skins are a little bit harder because they usually have an extremely thematic look. It could be like the Koga skin was like, okay, it's more ninja-esque. But for example, with Zephyr, I was looking, okay, how could people look at Zephyr? She's the wind frame, the bird frame. So I was looking at different natural birds. You know, what's the coloration schemes? Can we recreate them in game? And it's easier when it's a real thematic frame. Like Hydroid was water, so looking at different like sea creatures and that kind of stuff. Some are harder, like the most recent one, Harrow, is a priest or a pope. So it's kind of like, that's what I was saying something. So it's kind of like, okay, how can I bring a priest? Like, do I go look at like different sects? Or like, it's trickier, so I just kind of look at, okay, what could be cool? Besides just like black and red, edge.
Edgelord.
A little bit like, oh, what can we take away? But it's harder with the deluxe skins. Much harder with deluxe skins.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
On to Mr. Brozyme.
Yep.
Do you know what this is?
Yeah, that's the opening shot of my Warframe Basics video.
Wow, I'm impressed. All right,
It's
Brosine.
not accurate at all anymore.
What's that?
It's about as inaccurate as it gets now. It was accurate when it came out.
Of course,
enough.
of course. Things change. So, 4 years ago, you began making YouTube videos on your channel. They weren't always of Warframe content. You started playing many different games before Warframe. It wasn't until April 2014 that you posted your first Warframe tutorial titled The Basics, which the very first sentence that began your relationship with Warframe, do you remember it?
What do you mean?
Like the very first sentence of this YouTube video. Do you remember what it was? It's a gem, guys. It's a gem.
I'm terrible introducing myself, so it's probably some awful introduction.
Well, it was. Hello and welcome. If you're new to Warframe, you're probably dumped off at a screen that looks a lot like this and had no effing idea what to do after your tutorial, so that's kind of what this game is.
I'd say that's actually still accurate.
Moving on.
It's getting better.
Thank you. So having started your channel posting numerous other games besides Warframe, at what moment did you decide that Warframe content was going to be more of a consistent upload for your channel?
When I decided to play a lot of Warframe, and then people liked that I made the videos. Like, honestly, the thing about it is, the reason I started making Warframe videos is because I got to a point where I felt like I didn't have anything to do, so I decided that the end game is now that I'm going to make YouTube videos about this game.
And talk about things that you can't do.
And that still continues.
And here we are.
And it's just been like the dream, basically. So it's been really, really awesome, and I'm going to continue to do it as long as people want to see it.
There you go. Well, that's why you're up on this stage, Brozan. There you go. And did you always intend for your channel to be diverse and not all focused on one game? Because even today, you still post other games as well on your channel. So is that something that you'd always planned on? Your channel will never be one game. It's more...
Yeah, I'd always plan to go with variety, just so like it's clear to anyone who's like looking to sub or whatever. Like, it's not always just going to be the same game, even though it's the game that I play the absolute most, and I'm going to make the most videos about it. If I get really into, say, Persona 5, then that's going up on the channel. Like,
Sure.
if people enjoy it, it's going to get posted.
Sure. And to the other folks on the couch, because some of you also do post videos that aren't of Warframe as well, other than Hydrox.
No, I had one video.
You did?
My rejected Octavia's animations.
Okay, that's still Warframe. It's also... It's still Warframe. But for the most part, do you see potentially in the future doing that, affecting your channel negatively or positively, if you have been consistently posting Warframe videos?
It's definitely a little bit odd jumping into other games when your established kind of base is Warframe, just because that's kind of like what people come to look for, basically. And when you throw them a curveball, they're like, what exactly is going on here? And that happens with certain other series, and I know that certain series of mine just, well, I wouldn't say got the axe, but the thing is, you need to kind of like, even if you like a game, sometimes you need to have additional drive, like you have to have your community behind you and really push you to continue creating content for that. So I was actually, Warframe keeps us very, very busy. There's always stuff to come out. There's always things to be doing in the game, whether or not there's content that comes out. At least in my brain, I was like, I have a touch of the ADD, so I'm like, ooh, shiny over there. I haven't finished this over here yet. So I'm like, in my head, I have a running list of things that I need to do. And a part of me almost kind of feels like within the community, like you guys probably have just a touch of that too. You're like, oh wait, I completely forgot that this existed. So when you don't have the community behind you saying, play this other game too, and you have like these 50 other things that you really want to finish, like let's say trying to get all of the focuses in all of the focus schools. Like you're like, well, I could make a video that I in my brain need to do, or one that people aren't really encouraging me to do as much.
Very nice.
I've actually found it to be really helpful to have Warframe where I know the people that are watching my channel, well, most of them, they know what Warframe is, and they know the mechanics of Warframe and so on and so forth. So whenever I jump into another game, if there's like a direct parallel with like explaining something or something like that, then it's a good jumping off point to be like, well, this is like basically Warframe, except for this is medieval and also...
They can kind of relate to that video because of the Warframe videos that you
Yeah,
make.
exactly.
Very nice.
And it makes it a lot easier to jump into pretty much anything.
Yeah.
Hello. I was going to say that because I've covered Warframe for so long, and most of the community that I'm in is mostly Warframe, the challenge that I find is also a good thing because Warframe is so unique. It's not like you're playing Battlefield, like as a YouTuber, and then you jump to Destiny PvP, or
Right.
you're playing, I don't know, DayZ, and then you go cover Battlegrounds or something. And then like the community is like, yeah, this is very, no. Warframe is special and unique. So sometimes it could be a challenge to get people into the same stuff because Warframe is like this kind of thing. It's kind of doing its own thing. It's very unique. It's dungeon crawler, it's third-person action, it's RPG, and it's doing so many things that the community is very like specific in what it likes, I think, yeah.
Awesome.
Sorry, but can you repeat the question? I think our speaker's broken. It's a bit hard to hear down here.
Ask the question again. Oh, we're talking about Brozyme and how his channel has more videos, not just Warframe, it has other gaming videos. And I know that, for example, you guys, Xeno and Laws, is it working now?
It's working now.
Oh, lovely. You guys make, you have 10 o'clock, you have Faulty Frame Squad. Do you see doing like a podcast or videos about other games being a positive or a negative on your channel?
Certainly I feel it would be a bit of a negative because people come to my channel for Warframe content. If I was to ever expand out of Warframe, it would be on another channel because I have tried it before. I've tried to do a podcast on Heroes of the Storm, and that did terribly. So I'd rather actually focus on a channel being for one specific branch of content.
Honestly, I think like having multiple bits of content on your channel is kind of good for your own frame of mind as well, because it allows you to, when you go back into Warframe, you've got a different way of thinking, you've got a different perspective on things. So I think it allows you time to recharge as well. It means you're not sort of focused too much into one thing. And I just think that recharge time is just so good for your own channel, your own content. It just makes better content, I think.
Speaking of Headshot, hello.
Hello.
So far away from me. You as well started your channel with other game content, but soon you kind of switched primarily to doing Warframe videos, and has remained that way for a couple years now with a few other gaming videos here and there. Knowing that other creators were covering Warframe when you started posting primarily Warframe, was it at all daunting to try, or did you have a solid outline of how you could make your channel stand out amongst the rest?
I think at the time, the whole sort of min-maxing thing wasn't quite as big as it is now. So I really focused on putting loads of former into things, trying to get the most out of the builds as I could. And it was very much sort of guides around the weapons and just trying to help people work out what they want to do with things. And that wasn't, like, there were videos obviously on the weapons themselves, but at the time they weren't really pushing them. And I thought that was a market, it was an avenue I could go into and I really enjoy. So, and it's sort of, and now I'm here.
And here you are. Look. All right, moving on to Mr. AGGP.
Uh-oh.
Don't worry, I'm not at the bad questions yet. All right, your channel was Warframe pretty much right from the get-go for your channel.
Yep.
When was it that your channel really started to gain a following, and did that kind of Warframe content you were posting change in any way to kind of keep that going?
Well, to be honest with you, when I first started, I had no clue what I was doing. And I mean, if you look at the old thumbnails, they literally changed within 2 weeks because I hated everything that it was. And that's kind of how I've always approached Warframe, is I always wanted to do something that I love. And what ended up happening was kind of I started making this content that was a bit niche at first, because there was definitely, it definitely had a specific kind of flavor, specific kind of taste to what the channel was going to be catered to. And at that moment in time, nobody was really kind of attacking it from that kind of angle. There were always just kind of the stats. Nobody was going in to kind of have a little bit more personality. And that's kind of what I felt the community needed. And I think as the community blossoms, I think all of us are we all have our own very distinct personalities. And I really kind of wanted to pioneer Warframe being a personality in Warframe, in addition to also covering all of the stats and all of the information and all of that. Now, at first, and I think this is the same thing for anybody who's trying to do YouTube content when they first start out, don't expect any views. I was jumping for joy when I was like, oh my God, I have 14 views. I have 14 views on this video. And back in the day, when there was the 300 and under club, remember the 301 under club, where they would just put the plus at the end of it?
Yeah.
I was like, one of these days, my video will hit that 300. Because if you didn't hit that 301 in a certain time, you would just see the normal number. Sure. And I would never see that 300. And so the thing about it was, I was like, just keep doing what you love. Because when you love what you do, that energy is going to be put into it, and it'll kind of spread amongst your community. And that was kind of the big thing that I wanted, is for people to have fun, be informed, but also have fun at the same time. And I think that that's when the momentum really gained. Now, of course, there's different formats and different things that happen to my channel over time, because I get bored and I want to mix things up a little bit. I think that if you continue to do the same thing over and over and over again, sometimes things get a little bit stale and you need to add something different. I went full-time recently, and I went from 4-minute videos up into from anywhere from 10 to the 20-minute mark. And I know it was some people's chagrin, they're like, oh God, Rob, shut up, Rob. But I think that it kind of gave the channel a little bit more depth into who I was as a player, and kind of showed that, we're all human beings just like everybody else. Sure, I could take the best clip out of a certain type of gameplay. You'd be like, wow, Rob's a really great player. But now you can see me running into walls and messing up parkour and not putting in the appropriate elemental combos. So I just say, embrace it. We're all players here.
Embrace it.
Oh no.
Oh no is right.
Oh wait, that's a recent stream.
That's a what?
That's a recent stream.
I'm in my Snuggie.
That's my clip.
Sorry, I didn't really come to. Sorry, that was a bad idea. Sorry. So, a question for all of you. Are the videos that you put out greatly affected by the videos that each other are doing? Because obviously you want to do something that's unique to your channel. So while you're making your Chains of Hera lore video, are you watching other YouTuber videos to maybe answer questions that they've missed and try and go a different direction? Or do you ignore?
I usually watch Shy's videos for memes, and then just make my thing I usually make.
Gotta love a good Shy meme.
I personally ignore. I don't watch any other videos, because I think one of the big things is I want to be able to look at it from a critical perspective, just look at the numbers or look at what's going on with the items itself. And like we were talking about earlier, if you guys watched this video, my Chains of Hera reaction video, or the playthrough, I didn't catch it, but everybody else did. So what happened is, as they panned through the video, you could actually see a little bit of what was in the end. I didn't realize it was there, and the whole time I'm saying, what is
You're not
everybody
allowed to
talking
spoil
about?
this twice on 2 different panels.
Okay, but basically what ended up happening was I ended up watching Mogamu's, and that only afterwards did I realize what occurred.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
He screamed through Discord. I just thought I'd add that. As far as different content, I think that affects me greatly. In the beginning, I wouldn't watch anyone else's videos because I felt like it made me lazy. Like I'll watch someone else's video and they'll say, "Oh, that weapon's great." Or I'll watch Rob, and then I'll go, "Okay, the weapon must be great. My opinion is pretty much corrupted." But I think now I have to watch everyone because I'll try to make something different, right? I think it's easy to get bored or to make the same video, and now I will watch it. So if I see Rob will do something, I'll say, you stole my idea, first of all, and then I'll go off and try to do something that maybe people who are, because, I mean, you guys are like veterans, I think. Like if I say, oh, the gun's great, like you've got a pretty good idea of what you want to do. So it's just trying to make content different, I think. And then I'll watch Shy's video, and I hate myself because I'm not that funny.
Yeah, Shy is a different level.
I think one of the biggest things about it was definitely for me the black mark on my book, and I'll remember it forever. And you know this, is the Atmos. So the Atmos has a specific a way to mod it. That because of the fact that I was working out the numbers and I was just looking at the numbers, didn't quite spot the special effects, and forever in the history of it, I didn't put the Ruinous Extension mod on it, and I published it, and I was like, and then I said, okay, now I can watch other people's videos because it's like now I've formed my opinion, and now I've done everything, and of course I watched it and I was like, oh shit. And then I was like, I had to go back and annotate it, and it's things like that that really make you as a Warframe YouTuber saying, I have to step up my game.
Hydroxy?
I think I'm lucky in the fact that mine are a little bit different.
You have your own little realm over there, and you're safe from everything.
I'm kind of, when my videos go out, I'm lucky because I'm not worried about builds.
Yeah.
I'm usually reading patch notes or whatever. I usually watch Twitch streamers. So when that's out, I'm usually watching Tiger Stripe, or if I'm watching like Dino Demon or Dapper Dan Man, like I watch the Warframe Twitch streamers and YouTubers if they're streaming to basically like, okay, what am I missing out? So I'm looking when it comes out aesthetic wise, all helmets, armor. I'm not even looking at builds or powers or abilities. I'm like, okay, I know what it roughly does. I'll do mechanics later, but now it's okay. I'm just looking at it at a purely design point of view. So I just kind of watch Twitch when I'm making my videos. I'm like, okay, what are people actually doing in the game? Like, when like Harrow came out, I'm like, okay, headshots, cool, yeah, okay, I'll come back to that later.
Yeah.
So it's usually Twitch streamers I watch more, because the YouTube ones I kind of wait for a few days in case things get a bit patched.
Sure.
I don't want to watch
Change
a video
it.
straight as out because usually the things that get hotfixed, I'll wait 2 days maybe.
Yeah.
Before I watch the videos. But usually until then it's Twitch streams.
Yeah, specifically for a case like that, I wanted to wait on my Harrow video that I was making because I was feeling that he was going to get some like relatively major changes, which he did, and then I made my Harrow video. So giving it a second sometimes is pretty useful.
Sure. Xeno and Laws, obviously you guys are in your own realm as well over there with the machinima style.
I just want to ask, did you have to choose the one picture where both of us have our mouths gaping open?
I was just trying to get a good Harrow shot, and I'm sorry.
Well, I would say we don't really pay attention to other people's videos because we focus on more what the community's saying. So it's more what's on the forums and Reddit is where and Shy's videos. That's where we focus our attention mainly.
Sure. Headshot?
From my point of view, I don't really see anybody's videos until I've got my own out, so I can form my own opinions. It's not influenced by anybody else. So, like, any mistakes I make are my mistakes to make as well.
Sure.
But I know for a fact I'll go afterwards and see what Megami said about it, and just go and see what the other content creators have had to say. But I try not to let it influence my own content too much, for sure.
Awesome. All right. We're done talking about the beginning. We're now going behind the screens of these gentlemen. Don't look so nervous over there.
Oh, God.
We're not even at that part yet.
You got my jail record.
So we as adoring fans only get to see the finished product of your YouTube videos, but there's a lot going on behind the screens that we don't get to see. Starting with Hydroxy.
Oh, that's my first video.
Oh, it's your first video. You've stepped up your game in so many ways, but especially with the amazing aesthetic and editing of your Off the Runway videos. So comparing your first Saren Prime video, which is the one at the top there, with your more updated version, it's very clear how your skills have developed to make these beautiful. What things did you really work on to get your videos to this kind of type of level?
After Effects. All my videos are After Effects. Like the first one you see there is like an overlay and it's basic. If you do After Effects, lots of keyframes and stuff like that. It was like, oh, how can I make something fade in? That'll be so cool. People will love that. And now it's kind of like, okay, no, that's not going to work. It's kind of looking at you kind of do a bit of analysis. You look at kind of cool, I'm inspired by 3D HUDs and Iron Man, this stuff. I can't recreate that. So I'm looking at okay, how do magazines look? you know, can we make that into the 3D? So it's a kind of, even though a lot of my videos are still very simple in terms like they're just like translating
Yep.
or using like 3D camera panning and movement, that kind of stuff, and some things kind of like typing font. Looking back, I'm like, oh, okay, that's a big, you know. Well,
Oh, dear.
I recently did up to 60 frames in my video, and the first time I watched it in HD, because I never watched it in 1080p, I watched it in like 720.
Yeah.
I was like, it's so smooth. Like everything was just like so smooth. I'm like,
Yeah.
this is what people actually see. Because I watched it once to make sure there's any errors, but when I saw it in 1080p, I'm like, oh, this looks good. But I watched that first episode recently. I'm like, how far have I gone? Because I've gone 2 styles, 1 style every year,
Yeah.
and next year will probably be another style. But I was just like, the first thing's like, oh no. It looks to me like some sort of like a school project on something, and I was like, I sound like a
AKA
leprechaun.
like a PowerPoint, is that what you're saying?
Yeah, that's what,
like
you
a
know, like-
school PowerPoint.
I was like, oh,
Awesome.
what's that leprechaun talking on TV? Like, sorry, Brian, isn't it?
Honestly, like sometimes I will rewatch your videos just to watch the intro situation,
Oh, yeah.
all the moving parts.
When
It's unreal.
when
It's
Captura
amazing.
came, it changed the game.
You're welcome.
You know, thank you.
Yeah, no problem. No problem. All right. Yeah, this is for Mr. Magamu over here. Oh dear, I've lost my mouse.
That's me, isn't it?
That's you. So in terms of consistent content creation,
Yeah.
what are some of the ups and downs you've personally experienced in your Warframe career? Because as most of us have maybe seen behind the screens, there were times where a break from content creating was needed. And that is very common when devoting time to one thing, a lot of energy to one thing.
I keep defaulting to this. I've been doing this for a long time. So as things kind of come and go, sometimes you just have to take a break. And I think people play the game and then they may be excited about a thing and they're frustrated about a thing. They're like, freaking nanospore drop race or something else. And it really helps to take a step back. And the older I get, the more I'll see things a certain way. And then I'll say, okay, do I need to take a step back? Is DE doing something wrong? Am I looking at it the wrong way? And instead of just jumping right into, this is the worst thing ever, I'll look internally first. And if the problem is me, which last November I left Warframe, I don't know if a lot of people know that, I looked internally and I was the problem. And it wasn't a DE thing, it wasn't a Warframe thing. I had played the game for 4 years. I wasn't tired of the game, I just needed to breathe. And I think the metaphor here is sometimes things get really heated, and I think that's the time you have to look internally and figure out, is it this or is it me? And a lot of times you're gonna find out that it's you if you are really like objective about it. But other than that, I wanted to go watch Netflix for a while, so that's what I did pretty much.
Stranger Things?
Oh yeah,
Jeez.
yes. Yeah, that's a thing.
All right.
So that was emotional, sorry about that.
Don't apologize. Yeah, get off my stage. No, I'm just kidding. Don't.
You're gonna make him quit again.
I'm just kidding. All right, back to Mr. Brozan.
Oh no,
What? What's wrong with that?
just anything.
Looks great. Sorry. So behind the screen, you also have a large and steadily growing Twitch following. Does the time and energy split between making Warframe YouTube content and streaming on Twitch benefit you, or is it a hard balance? Because as you've done, you've made kind of moments and highlights from your Twitch stream and uploaded it to your YouTube channel. Do you think this kind of hinders the quality of a YouTube channel that could have been? Like it could have been a more quality video?
Usually it doesn't affect the quality because I usually will hold a video until I feel like I like it. So it's more of a thing where if I stream for 4 days during a week, it's like, well, I could have made like 3 or 4 videos for those days. So it's more of a balance between, am I streaming too much and I should make more videos so both places have stuff? Not so much whether or not I can get like the quality to where I want it to be. Because most of the time, if I'm gonna make a thing, honestly, it's one of two things. Either I have a really good intro idea that I love and I have to make a video to accompany it, or the thing needs to be talked about.
Yeah. have you found kind of the right balance yet, or is it?
I think I'm getting there. I think I need to have a real sleeping schedule, probably. I don't really have that right now, so.
Who needs sleep anyway?
Yeah, trying to work that out.
All right. Rob, I apologize for this next.
Oh no. No, what is happening?
Sorry.
Oh my God, that was last week.
Sorry, not sorry.
This was the bubble party.
Okay. So it's clear that behind the screen is a Christmas tree for you. I don't know the answer, so can you please explain why there's still a Christmas tree?
Okay, so this is something that's kind of been going on for a long while. It's actually been up for, I want to say like 3 years and 4 Christmases now. And the way that it kind of goes is I left it up as a representation of the fact that my shit is not together. And I decided that, you know what, we're just gonna rename this. It's gonna be the holiday tree. It'll cover all of the holidays that are out there. You know, whether it's Father's Day, whether it's the 4th of July. You see there's red balls, there's blue balls. Well, they just went to a different place. But regardless, that's thematic for the 4th of July. There's lights on there, it's sparkly. So, I mean, we can sell it as that. But legitimately, it stands there as a spire of my inability to pull my life together.
I was going to say, don't say flesh.
Yeah, I know. I was pulling in references.
Oh, dear.
But yeah, so I just kind of leave it up as a reminder that things aren't quite, I mean, it's pretty and sparkly and fun, but at the same time, it's also like a joke. Because I feel like when you grow up, like as adults, we never really completely have our stuff together. I feel like we just pretend to be older versions of kids. And that's basically what it stands for. And maybe one of these days, I will have everything together and we'll take the tree down. So we'll see.
What about the plastic water bottles?
Listen.
Are we dealing with that?
Okay, he's angry at me because I have tons and tons of Coke Zero bottles, or had tons and tons of Coke Zero bottles across my office floor. But he was also yelling at me because he did not like me crunching them.
And he calls me and he asked me a Warframe question. And it's like, so Magamu, can you help me with this Warframe? I'm like, Rob, please chill.
Hey, I'm trying to pull my life together. It's Mogamu's fault the tree isn't down.
Just got to answer these
Sure.
questions. Just answer every single question ever, and then the water bottles can stop.
Yeah.
I'm
a
going to
hostage
record the
situation.
water bottles. I'm going to make a video out of that and monetize it.
It's going to be water bottle ASMR, you guys. I hope you guys like it. We'll upload it to the channel.
Water
Oh,
bottles on the
see?
tree. That's next level,
Repurpose it.
having your life not together. But in all seriousness, you have quite the selection of videos going on, from fashion, as Hydroxide points out, you do have your fashion videos, to builds, to first impressions, to rants, to truly very eclectic and different ones on your channel. Are you constantly filming and editing videos, or have you reached a maximum skilled and it's easy to maintain this mix?
Well, back in the day when we had like the 4-minute videos, those clips were very, very short and very, very fast, but those took a lot of time to do. Scripting itself took anywhere from 2 to like 5 hours if like your brain was just stuck. And then the edits themselves, without even talking about filming, took at least 2 hours. And then there was the filming on top of that. So with the new format that's a little bit longer, it's a little bit more uncut. It's been easier to put out content, but at the same time, it's been easier to share the experience. Because I think you guys get to see, there was one experience that actually people really grappled onto, and I was like, you guys like that? But I was reading through the patch notes, and as I was reading through the patch notes, I literally squeed at certain parts when I got to the corrupted Bane mods. I was like, ooh! And everybody was like, they kind of got the feeling like they were discovering it at the same time too. And so it's kind of like being able to not necessarily have to edit everything down and make everything super short, but let things unravel the way that they naturally unravel, made it a little bit easier to have all of this diversity. And it's because of those not so highly edited pieces of content that I'm able to cover more and cover different angles of things. So it's kind of like a trade-off. Edits are great, they make things polished, but I don't get to share as much of the experience with everybody. So I'm like, what's more important, sharing with my community or making something super polished? And at the end of the day, it came down to my beautiful, amazing, wonderful community that will always be 10 times funnier, 10 times smarter, and 10 times more critical of me. And it came down to sharing with them, because that was the more important part of the YouTube experience, and even the TennoCon and Warframe experience, is being able to share with one another.
Zeno, I feel like you were kind of squeaming over there because we all know your videos take 800 years to make.
Yeah, they do.
Speaking of Zeno.
He actually started in the Jurassic period.
Yeah, and he's still there, still making videos. So, Mr. Zeno Gel Lion. I'm gonna split you and Laws up for a minute and just talk to Zeno. Sorry, I know. What are you without each other? I don't know. So what I think is your most recent vlog, you kind of mentioned that Faulty Frame Squad was potentially going on indefinite hiatus?
So I don't know if many people are aware, but earlier this week I actually released the 5th episode.
I saw that and I got confused because I made this PowerPoint before you did that video, so now I look like an idiot.
Putting that video together was extremely hard
Yeah.
because of Warframe's continuous evolution. So there are many quirks to Warframe that a lot of players don't know about. For example, if you don't kill anything for 10 minutes, the mission auto fails. If you don't actually start a defense mission for 3 minutes, it auto starts. And obviously there's the more recent one, which the Exterminate, where mobs will constantly spawn and things. These were all environments that we were utilizing to actually record Faulty Frame Squad. So in this image, we were actually using one of the defense tiles, and it was brilliant because we just never had to actually start the defense mission itself, and we could record for hours. And like typically, like a 5-minute video would take 5 hours of raw footage.
Yeah.
But the Exterminate edition was in part the nail in the coffin that has now put Faulty Frame Squad on indefinite hiatus. However, with the addition to Captura and its currently limited tile sets, I am actually working with Crash Omnis and Joey Zero to make a new machinima, which should be airing relatively soon.
A new Faulty Frame or something completely different?
It's set in the Faulty Frame Squad universe, so,
Interesting.
but it's not the FFS.
Interesting. I feel like I just got a secret. Or do people know that already?
No one knows about it.
Well, now they do. I feel like I found something out. All right, moving on to Mr. Laws. Don't laugh at my screenshots. I worked really hard to get these. So Laws, not too long ago, on June 15th, you posted a source film video on your channel titled Remembering Where It All Began. What kind of work and effort went into a video like this, and what are the plans for it moving forward?
Well, so this is entirely done on SFM. Using
Well, some of it's SFM.
Oh yes, sorry, I stole from your videos as well, I suppose.
Yeah.
But no, so yeah, it's quite. I'm limited entirely by the amount of stuff that's been ripped from Warframe and put into SFM for me to use. But this video, so the way I'm trying to do videos is the trickiest thing to animate, and that's why you don't see a lot of SFM in Faulty Frame Squad as well, is walking and hands. So I'm doing videos like this with a death cube because death cubes never get any love. Anyone?
Aw. Anyone like Death Cube?
Anyone?
Eh.
Cool. And where the camera itself is with the viewer, so you're experiencing the video as if that is your sight, and it's just much easier to animate. So I'm going to hopefully do an entire series, continue on like this.
So a new series from, does that mean you're not doing
Oh,
said
no.
series with Zeno?
Oh, this is just on the side while I'm waiting for him to get on with stuff.
Oh, right, 'cause
I've got to find someone to fill my time.
Because he appreciates that I never finish anything, he's decided maybe he should do his own stuff.
There's a good balance there. Okay, we're moving into some little more fun stuff here. It's called If You Could. So we're going to see what our lovely gentleman up here would decide. So, if you could side with any faction, who would it be and why, Brozine?
Am I allowed to side with the Tenno?
Yes.
Then that.
You don't want to be evil? You don't want to...
You don't want to be on the winning side?
All right, that's a good point. Good point made.
Infested.
Is there a reason?
The hive mind.
Yeah.
The hive mind. It just ties together.
All they want is to be friends. Why are you denying them that?
They just want a little hug.
They
Friends
just
is
want
such a
little
strong
hug.
term.
I mean, friendship, it's pretty much how you take it. So They just want a hug. I mean, they don't understand why you're defiling them while they're trying to hug, you. So I'm going with infested. That's, yeah.
Okay, so if it wasn't Tenno, if Tenno were excluded from this,
Sure.
you damn well know it would be the Corpus, and specifically Ergo Glass, because he is one sassy Momo. Like, that whole quest with the Myconians, I was like, he was sassing Lotus. I was like, you got some balls. I will join up with you.
All right, Hydroxide?
Sentient.
Sentient. You're going straight sentient.
I love the way, like, just like the one mind and then all the little ones that can interchange.
Yeah.
And I can't wait for that, where that's going. Because that to me is like, it's like, the emanating fear. They don't even have to be in the same solar system. And they're like, all it takes is us to come in, it's over. And I like that.
You like that? All right. Zeno?
I've got to say the Stalker and his acolytes, because, I mean, to be fair, they suck. And I, want to actually back up my man.
Grenier for life.
What's that?
Grenier for life.
Grenier for life.
Because I get to hang out with Tilra Gore, which is always amazing.
I want to change my answer now.
Headshot?
I would say probably the Grenier because they have cats and dogs. Also, Grakata.
All right. Grakata. Clem, clem. All right, aesthetically, we're doing a Warframe. Who would it be, and what would you do differently? Be kind. Oh, my goodness. Be kind. Who wants to go first? Brozan?
Yeah, no, I need a second.
All right, Brozan. Magame.
Hydroid, the H is for hideous. So,
Savage.
I'm sorry, Hydroid fans. Yeah, I would redo him. Well, okay. That's it.
Okay.
We know things.
We know things.
I think that probably one of the frames that was the most difficult for me to customize, and to this day, the default skin makes, sometimes it's hard to fashion frame things. Sometimes it's really, really difficult, and Zephyr did not make it easy. So I'm right there with you guys, hoping for a new deluxe skin at some point. I know it's a fashion project, and we're probably gonna have to wait on it, but man, that was just like a pain in the butt because of all of the too many details in certain places. That was me.
Just a question you've been waiting for. Fashion question.
It's Limbo.
Limbo.
I love his hats, but as a kind of, when you're in colors wise, he's so plain.
Yeah. Okay.
But I love his aesthetic, like in terms of the magician kind of top hat. I love it, but it's so plain. Sorry.
So what would you do to change it if you could?
Immortal skin,
Okay.
and I'll be happy. Because
I'm
like
happy.
the Vistixio skin,
Yes.
like with the gradients and the
Yep.
that.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing.
We're not tintable.
Yep.
But like obviously she wasn't PBR'd either. But I love the design. But Limbo, I hate plain. But in terms of like Atlas is plain, but it still works for him.
Yeah.
Because he got the arms and then the cloth. But Limbo's just like suit. And I'm not into that.
Yeah. Zeno?
Thanks, Hydroxate, for stealing mine. I would actually say Atlas. He's got too much, very similar. He's got very block colors, There's no real intricate details on him, no stylings or anything. Does he have an immortal skin yet?
No.
No, there you go.
But it's bacon. You can't hate bacon.
Yeah, but the bacon's on the front, the side I'm not looking at.
So what you're saying is you want some bacon in the behind.
Yeah, I love me some back bacon.
Live?
Well, I'm tempted to say Limbo again because it's just so plain, but it's... No. Oh. Can't say that. Well, I'd redesign Excalibur Prime's face again. Give me my face back. But no, if I was being serious, I would say, not ignoring Limbo, because I agree with being so plain, but I was never a fan of all the material bits on Mesa with the things. I would just make it more pseudo-technology and less, it looks like she's wearing cloth. That's the only thing I'd change.
Sure. Headshot?
I would say probably maybe Equinox. I love the way she looks, but she is a nightmare to try and get right for both day and night.
Yeah.
So I would definitely make some, I'd definitely change the way that you can sort of maybe color both, separately. Doing one size fits all doesn't really work for
I
her.
feel like Hydroxide would go crazy being able to have 3 different Equinoxes.
I take mine back actually.
Do you want Equinox?
Because what Lars was saying about Excalibur Prime's helmet, Mag Prime helmet, is the one thing I can't do because it's like coal miner and then like predator there, and I can't do it. It's like it's like a trip to the dentist's office. I can't do it.
You can't fashion frame the dentist.
I'm like, that's when like the TennoCon came. I was like, thank God. No, like Hitsu Sandalata.
Beautiful.
You know, and the new Grax one's looking. It's
Rose
like an actual
eye.
bodysuit, yeah.
So I
Thank you.
agree with both Mog and Rob, but I think I would change regular Trinity because she's got some armor pieces on her, and those are nice, but there's just not enough. Like most of her is just a bodysuit.
She's got a big old tail, and that's
Yeah,
it.
pretty much. So just like extending out her current design into being like more full
Yeah.
would probably be what I would do.
Cool. I like it. All right, if you could replace Lotus with any Warframe character to be your guide, who would it be and why? Tarbo.
Borrow Katir.
Borrow.
Where's he get his stuff?
That's
tell
where you tell me where you get your stuff.
This is going to be like a little bit of a reach, and I don't know if anybody remembers this character, but Cephalon Stark from the Index. If you guys haven't played the Index recently, he is like one of the most flavorful characters ever. And Cephalon Stark, I was like, not that I hate Ortis, like people hate Ortis, but I literally just want to like just extract him and like implant Stark onto my ship. But he is definitely one of my favorite characters aside from Ergoglast.
All right.
I really liked Palladino because it was kind of like it was giving me the kind of poltergeist movie.
Is it because she had a cat too?
But it's also it's the kind of like no like go back and rail like really loud and like really into it, and then all of a sudden it's like he's gone now. And if that like the moment where it's just kind of calm, I'm like in game that would throw me off, and I find that quite funny. Like she's like Tenno, the Grenier are going. Okay, they're gone. No, I would like that. Yeah.
That's brilliant. I love it.
I would certainly say Till Rigor and have him heckle us the entire time. Oh, what's that, Tenno? You think you can do this successfully? No.
Lots?
Well, seeing as Tilgor's been taken, my second choice would have to be Sargus Ruck because he's clear and to the point. And
He would just be screaming at you the whole time.
exactly. I know what to do.
I know it's Headshot?
I would say probably Teshin, because we might actually get our hands on a Jul Nikana.
He's pretty sassy though. He's mean.
Teshin.
Magami.
I have two answers. The first is clearly going to be Till Regor, because he will be like so excited about everything you did. It's like, nice nanospores. I'm so excited, Tenno. It's like, calm down. But the second person will be out of game, Terry Crews. Just going to say that now.
Well, you can say that about literally any character in any video game ever.
You're probably right about that. But I mean, you pick up a fusion core, he'd be like, fusion core every time. So sign me
And it
up
would
for that.
never get old.
Or even if we have like Lucas Suman just doing Lotus's voice, I'll be fine with that.
Oh, he's in the building. We'll find him. All right. If you could write the next major Warframe quest, what kind of direction would it take and why? Bro?
I want a syndicate war.
You want a syndicate war?
Okay, they're all in the same building, in the same place, and they hate each other's guts, yet they do absolutely nothing in there. You would think that at least like you'd see like a red veil person just going by the other side of the thing and just kind of giving them like the stink eye. Like there's so much that could happen on the relays that it would be nice to see them, or it could be one of those kind of like Age of Redemption things where everybody like has to come together to fight one big enemy. And then you realize that each of the different syndicates can work together in really interesting ways. Like you could almost see the way maybe they could have a crossover where you would have like Ergoglast using his tech and Cephalon Suda helping them get into things. You know what I mean? It would be great to see the syndicates have some sort of interaction with each other, whether it is against each other or whether it is coming together to fight something bigger. Because there's so much personality there, especially with the missions that you guys have added within the world now. We get to see more of who they are, and I want to see even more to the point of how they interact with each other.
So in a completely different direction, I want to go back.
Back in time.
Time travel, premonitions, or not premonitions, just back to the Orokin War. Like the actual, what'd we do though? Like I know we killed a lot of things, but what's the order? When did things happen? Who killed who? And that kind
Who
of stuff.
shot first?
And yeah, basically that. Like an explanation, like, or like just to go back and do the thing, as it were.
Magamu.
Literally the same answer. Like,
Yeah.
no question. He's right. the organ thing, time travel, moral choice of slaughter versus save type of stuff. Yeah, that is the answer without a doubt.
Hydroxy?
I'm kind of more where Brosine was
We're
going
back in time, apparently.
But I'm kind of more interested in, because Once Awake was kind of introduced, Infested, and it was kind of a bit rocky, like Dr. Tengus unleashing it. I'd like to go back to how the techno side or the infestation began.
Sure.
So kind of like, I don't know, is that where the hidden message that we did on Twitter is coming from, the flesh and porcelain?
Well, you'll find out later.
Hopefully. And but it kind of seen, okay, I want to see, because we see the kind of manifestations of the infestation on Corpus and all that kind of stuff. I would love to see a quest where they show how that actually twists the things.
Cool.
And show so we know the kind of the horror of what things would have to do.
Yeah.
And go back to how they unleashed it originally and how it just went rampant and why, Sarin Prime was made to.
Yeah.
That's kind of where I would like to go back to the original infestation kind of tool.
I love it. Zeno?
Considering the direction that the game is looking at, we're looking at the potential of some void deity. I kind of want to avoid that. And we've also had the Grineer Queens, which seem to be lurking in the background. The one thing that I really want to do a quest on is Hun Hao. Where has he gone? What is he doing? And what are the sentients up to?
Well, if I had a quest, it would be dark. I want
knew
to
you were going to say that.
It's going to be grim. It's going to be dark. We're going to have to make choices, big choices that change the nature of the solar system.
I feel that Lotus woke us up for one reason, to stop the Grineer, and what did the Grineer do these days? Nothing. So I'd like to see a quest where we make tough choices, more than just, do you want to drink this bottle of red goo? Choices like, do you want to save this planet, or do you want to save this ship full of orphans from being consumed by the infested? So big, important choices are made, and actual consequences of our actions appear.
Headshot?
I kind of want to see an escalation in the war between the Grineer and the Corpus. I want to see like giant Corpus ships going up against Fomorians, things like that. At the moment, they're sort of, you've got the invasions and stuff going on, but they're kind of just pottering along like normal, really. I want to see an escalation, like they're really trying to push things, but then maybe bring in the sentients, as the sentients now see this as a perfect time to strike, and sort of bring them in as well. So maybe we're forced to help the Corpus and the Grineer against the sentients and sort of things like that. I'd love to see, I just want to see an escalation in the war between the two.
All right. If you could ship 2 Warframes together and make it canon, who would it be?
Mog can go first.
First of all, I've seen your Reddit posts and stuff on the internet, so you guys have got most of this covered. You're terrible people, first of all. That's tough. That might be too hard of a question.
Does anyone else have, Magamu, Zeno?
So I'm a huge fan of Lotus Shim 554's art, so it would be Oberon and Necros.
All right. Loz is shaking his head. Does he agree?
It's beautiful art.
It is
really
beautiful art. It's beautiful art. There's a lot of ketchup involved. Go ahead.
Hydroid and Frost.
Hydroid and Frost.
Water and ice, yeah.
They make ice? Is that what
Yeah,
you're
they could
talking
do like
about?
snowmen or something like that. No.
It's romantic.
Well, I've seen stuff on Tumblr that,
Okay.
yeah. Like if you search Warframe on Tumblr, there's 95% of it
That's
is
how I
not.
find my fan art every single prime time, and it is awkward when people walk by my desk.
When
Because
you
there are
sh-
pictures
when you
that
did
should
the-
not be on Tumblr.
The Soprano Banshee costume, I'm like, that's a little bit, the.
The worst is when
lingerie
you
kind of-
click it thinking it's a decent one, and then it's like boom, and it's like nope, that's
Nope.
naked.
No.
That's a body part.
That's a body part. Yep.
Yeah, Hydroid.
I would think, because I like horns, Frost Harka and Loki Knave. Just put all the horns together, one place.
All right. Magamu.
Too soon. I guess Ember and Frost, right? I mean, because that's going to be some interesting chemistry. That'll be a blast,
Art.
You're the absolute worst. Is he banned now? He's banned now, right? He got banned for that.
Headshot. Did you have one?
I would probably say Nyx and Nova because they're both cute AF.
They are cute AF. You are. Prozame, did you have an answer to that, or you don't want to answer that?
I mean, I guess Ember and Volt for an irradiating experience, right?
right, guys, pick
Y'all
the next
make me
Prime
mad.
Warframe. What? Y'all making you
Y'all
mad?
make me mad.
Pick the next Prime Warframe. Who's it gonna be?
The one
Who do you
that
want
was
it to be,
not
sorry?
shown
I get to
today.
pick Mesa.
You would pick Mesa?
Mesa, done. Like the next one's Hydroid, Mesa, done. Easy. Easiest choice of my life.
So, like, not the one that was shown today.
Sorry?
Not the one that's shown today.
I'm talking about if you could pick the next one.
The next one. Mirage Prime.
Mirage Prime. All right.
So I would pick, just because I don't want to lose a bet, Limbo Prime. But if I actually had to pick one to not lose a bet, I would probably go ahead. I would actually pick Mesa Prime. Mesa's good.
You
or,
can't beat the style.
Or Titania Prime. One of those two girls would be amazing with all of the ornaments on them.
Yep.
It's actually pronounced Titania.
Titania. Do you want to fight? Fight.
All right. You two. Zeno.
I would pick Nidus to see what the actual outcome would actually be.
All right.
Definitely Chroma after the custom skin. Love to see a golden dragon.
I would probably go with Inaros because I love the whole sort of Egyptian theme.
Yeah. All right. If you could convince Scott to buff a weapon, what would it be?
The Flux Rifle.
The Flux
Who
Rifle.
else remembers when the Flux Rifle was good?
When it was OP.
It used to be amazing. It used to be so good. So the Flux Rifle,
All right,
probably.
Flux Rifle. Moving on.
The
The name
Cronin.
is escaping me. Cyclone? Is that it?
Cyclone?
The piss Cyclone.
Cycron.
Cyclone.
Oh,
Yeah,
They're like
it's an
wheel
interesting mechanic. And I would like to see that weapon actually be usable.
Rob. Why are you looking at me like that?
So recently, a really good weapon got a buff called the Lado Prime. So why not go ahead and buff the Skana Prime as well? I think that would be very enjoyable for a lot of people.
Law has agreed,
Colin.
obviously. Hydroxy.
Well, two of my favorite weapons got buffed recently, the Glaxion and the Panthera, but there's, I love the whip weapons. So I would like the whips to kind of get
Like Skoliak and all that.
Skoliak,
Yeah.
Atarax, get them a bit more...
Atarax?
Yeah, no, but like,
you
you know, the
buff
whip
the
weapons. I use the Skoliak. Skoliak is the one I like. Or the scythe weapons. I love the scythes.
Cool.
Scythe?
Sight.
Scythe.
Zeno.
I would say the Cronin because I love me some blade weapons and they do nothing.
Bratton Prime.
You're gonna prime the Rat Prime?
What?
Oh
Why does
wait,
it
sorry,
have
you're
to
gonna
have-
buff it. Sorry.
Yeah, why does it have to have the least ammo of all the assault rifles when it got its buff? It's terrible.
Terrible.
If I could I just say an entire weapon class, which is the dual daggers?
All right, if you guys could guess the next theme of the revealed Warframe, what do you think?
Didn't they say this at the art panel?
Moving on. I didn't
It's
know
glass.
that. All right.
What was it?
I made this before that.
What was it?
It's glass, right?
Yeah, I knew it because
Wait,
you
hold
could
on.
see through the panels.
Yeah. Everyone thought it was samurai, but she's got glass parts on.
I mean, she can be a glass samurai.
She could.
Well, that's
We'll never
kinda
know. All right, I am actually going to skip through some of these questions because I want to get to the ones that make you sweat. So,
You skipped the one I wanted to answer the most.
that one?
No, the first one that you went to right after.
All right, what?
A grappler.
A grappler?
Like a proper grappler, like a Zangief, an Armika, one of those types. That'd be the best.
A Zangief?
Armadillo.
What's that?
Like an armadillo or a pangolin frame.
Yeah.
You can go into a ball and that's what
So
it
like
was.
Sonic, you want Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yeah.
That's what Valkyr can do that.
Sonic
Like,
OCs and Warframe
an
confirmed.
turn into like a roller, like
Ah.
a pangolin, like we have pangolin, but like an actual armored tank one that you can go for like a fourth ability, you would be able to roll and impact damage or something. I like that.
I really want to see an explosive frame. That you just the whole
just
thing is
literally
based on blowing
explodes.
yourself up.
All right. Sounds like a great time. I kind of want to know what you guys think. Wait. Yeah, what do you guys think is going to be the reveal tonight?
I think it's going to be the Tau system.
Okay?
Definitely tile system and or Umbra.
I'm looking to some sort of big change to focus and something to do with our operators.
Okay?
I'm thinking something maybe to do with the Orc and Infested, cause flesh and porcelain.
Okay? Xeno Lion.
Cinematic Quest 3.
Cinematic Quest.
Whatever's happening with Dark Sectors when they're coming back.
More Dark Sectors.
I sort of think that Helminth is going to come along somewhere along the line.
All right. This is the part where we go into you said what? Because you said a lot of things in your YouTube career. So we're gonna start with AGGP. You said as a veteran you've done everything. So it's little things like this chroma effigy augment that make gameplay interesting. Do you think that mods that are kind of more not necessarily stat increasing are welcome in Warframe?
It really depends on the mindset of the player, because a lot of the times what will happen is there is a segment of our community that is all about min-maxing and getting the most out of it. But I think that there's also a part of our community that appreciates something a little bit different, something that kind of changes things up a little bit. And it's things like the Chroma's Effigy Augment, the one where you can actually move it around and almost kind of treat it like a big old Pokemon, that really can liven things up a little bit. And if people would, and if more people would give those a chance and have fun with those, then I think that people would have more fun with the game in general. And we have to remember, at the end of the day, it's a game. If you're not having fun, that's when you're doing it wrong.
All right. Magamu, you said Octavia's Anthem is the best quest so far. You said this before Chains
That's
of
a
Hero.
hard hole to dig out of.
Did Chains of Hero change anything?
Okay, so I'm going to catch flack for this because it's not technically a cinematic quest, but as someone who I used to work in television and I used to read a lot of books about narrative and writing, I think Octavia has like the best character motivations, character arcs and that type of thing. So if you take out the great cinematics and the reveals and you just strip it all down at just its basis of telling a story, Octavia's Anthem is really, really good.
Like the structure of events and how it was told.
Yes,
Okay,
absolutely.
yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
So are you saying that it's better than Chains of Hero? That is a yes or no question.
I feel like I'm going to regret this. Yes.
Oh, you've already got some flack.
Immediate flag.
It's tough. It's tough. I already regret
You
it.
think about it and you make a new video.
Go to the
about
next
it.
person.
Think about it. Think about it. Rosine.
Oh no.
Yeah, I know. When Titania first came out, you declared her to be fine. Later on, no, I'm not. Yeah. But later on, you then said her 2 and 3 are worthless, and 4 is half done, and her 1 is just meh.
Also true.
How would you change Titania to have a better role?
Her 2 needs buffs that are more impactful across like the breadth of the game, and in general, it should probably be a little easier to get those buffs to your teammates. Her 3 honestly probably just needs an anchor, like just that it can't just fly to space.
Like a little
her 1 is like fine for a 1. Like status immunity is what it is, and there's not much to be done there. But the 4, the answer to that is probably that Arcwing needs to be better.
I saw your video about how slow she is in Arcwing.
She's very well. There is an exception to that actually, but it's a gimmick build where she's very, very fast. So fast, such that she can actually squash herself on walls.
Comedic, right? Comedic.
You gotta have fun.
Gotta have comedic. All right, moving on to Mr. Headshot over there. You once, sorry, you made a video at the start of this year where you said Nidus is a perfect blend of tankiness, huge damage, crowd control, and the skilled use of all his abilities combined with a maximized build can really allow him to do some amazing things. How do you feel about Nidus now?
I still feel exactly the same way about Nidus. I love the way all of his abilities synergize. Synergy in a Warframe, I think, is more interesting than not having the synergy. I do sometimes wish it was kind of slightly better indicated in the game, kind of that the synergies are there.
Yeah.
There are a lot of synergies, I think, that are not actually, said at all. But Nidus is an incredible frame. I think he's probably, I'd say, one of the best designed frames out of all of them. And I still definitely stand by exactly what I said there.
All right. Moving on to laws. You said once the community went mental over Samara scanning because it had leaderboards.
They did.
You did say that.
Yeah. Can we have it back?
Sorry?
Can we have it back?
What?
Can we have it back?
Can you have it back?
Samaris, yeah.
I know,
Actually having
that was what you said in your video, but I kind of, when you start talking about leaderboards, it made me wonder how you would put leaderboards in the game to be more enticing. Like, how would we improve on our relax?
Yeah, so a lot of things we don't have is we've got the resetting leaderboards for like how far can you get in defense or how far can you, how many waves can you kill or something. And those reset, but they don't really achieve anything. So one thing, I mean, the reason why I think Samaras was so great is there was a goal for the community to work towards, and that's what prompted, but then at the same time it recorded who was the best in that goal that everyone was working towards. So it's those two things, having a challenge, but also everyone in this lovely community working together for a goal is what you need that makes people go mental. So we need more of that.
All right.
Would I be able to nab a shot at that question?
Sure.
So, a long, long time ago, and most people don't remember it probably, there were the kill leaderboards, like
Yes.
the overall kill leaderboards.
Yes.
And there are some very special emblems and such that are quite nice
The skulls?
attached to that, the skulls.
Yeah.
And bringing back leaderboards in a way that could offer rewards to, say, the top 10 players in a certain category on every other month, the top 10 players get a certain reward would be really awesome.
All right.
So basically what you're saying is it all boils down to fashion frame.
Fashion frame is, yeah, pretty much.
All right, Zeno. When discussing invasions regarding Fomorian and Razorback on a 10 o'clock episode, you said, and no one's playing the invasions. Now, at the time of saying that back in April, a Razorback showed up in May and a Fomorian showed up in June. Do you take back your statement, or do you still think no one plays invasions?
I believe that didn't DE actually change some numbers so that it was easier for those.
Yes.
So I don't know if it was a case of each mission would actually award more towards the contribution, or if it was a case of they would slowly tick up over time. But in all honesty, I don't know who actually. Could we get a raise of hands? Who actually does invasions?
Oh, so you're a big old liar.
Oh, you take it back.
That's less than half.
Regrets, we all have them. Hi, Droxy. It was hard to find something controversial because you're just the nicest person and you never say anything that I can like make fun of or embarrass you from.
I'm one of those people like.
Yeah, you're just a nice Irish man. But you tweeted about Harrow, saying, have yet to play him, but in terms of aesthetic, I am in love. So in your opinion, which Warframe has the worst aesthetic?
The worst aesthetic?
Aesthetic. Worst fashion. None of them?
Mag Prime helmet.
Oh, you're gonna go back
Yeah.
to Mac. You just hate that helmet.
People say like I'd rather a pink Hydroid than a Mag Prime.
All right. It's trivia time. I'm just gonna watch this for a second. All right. Who here on stage currently owns the most Forma?
It's not
Who
me.
do you guys think? Who do you
Which
think?
one of
I've
you
won
has
my-
the most money? Because I know you guys bought some for sure during that sale.
I have some built.
I have like one.
You have one? Is it?
Yeah, like I need Forma. If you see my wish list, it's only Forma.
Who thinks it's them? Who thinks it's them?
Is this who's currently sitting on Forma?
Who literally has, not like the recipes or whatever, like who literally has built Forma? How many?
Headshot?
It
'Cause he
could,
does less maths.
it could be me.
You think it's
I
you,
think
Broza?
headshot.
There's
Yeah.
some potential for that to be the case.
I think I'm in the running, but I don't know if I'm up there.
I'm going for headshot.
Rosie.
It's Broza.
1-3.
I actually have more than that now.
Well, okay, this was like 3 days ago. And the close second was actually Headshot with 103.
I
Here on
had
the stage
6.
currently has the most deaths caused by a battleless sentient. Who do you think it's you, Hydroxy?
Do you count
it
that in the
might be.
simulacrum?
No,
Is that not counted then?
No.
No.
not you. You think Hydroxy, you're taking the whole?
Yeah, no. I only found out like, what, 2 months ago that.
Oh,
That's
Sorry,
not us that I
Headshot.
want to see.
It was you. But a close second was Hydroxate with 21.
Yeah.
So you're getting there. Who here on the stage currently has failed the most Cypher hacking puzzles?
I want to say me because I did it for a video.
All right. Anyone else think it's them? I want to point fingers.
I imagine all of us have like a really, really low fail rate, so it's hard to say.
I'll be honest, this person was won by a margin.
a large margin?
It's a margin.
How large of a margin? It's not me, is it?
Okay, so here's the problem, right?
In second place was Rob, though, with 105.
Okay.
How many do I have? Do you remember?
That's why I buy
I
ciphers
can't remember
now.
all the
Screw
time.
that.
I can get that to you, but I have it written down. Who here on the stage currently has acquired the most kills with Oberon?
Loz. Xeno.
Well, obviously it's Xenogelian. But, so A, look at that number, and B, it's worth noting that Laws has only 446, and the second place was Rob with 14,943. Like,
I played the crap out of him when we had to do the research for that stuff.
yeah. But damn, Xeno, damn.
Hi.
Who here on the stage currently has the best Tigris Prime accuracy? Oh, you're just going right ahead and saying yourself. Anyone think it's them?
I can confess I probably have the worst.
You have the worst?
I've used that while it's been corrupted, so that's probably not good for me. I had unlimited ammo. I can't help it.
All right. It's Magamu.
I'm
And a close
redeemed.
second was Rob with 70%. Who here on the stage currently has completed the most missions?
Mog.
You think it's Magamu?
He's the
For
oldest.
sure.
I don't know about that.
I think that's like an easy U.
Anyone else want to think it's
Magamu.
them or point
Magamu.
fingers?
I want to say Montgomery.
Everyone thinks it's Magamu.
That surprises me.
And the closest to headshot was actually Rob with 14,000.
14 seems to be a good number.
It's your number. Who here on the stage currently has the most kills using Trinity?
Loz.
I think it's Headshot, because he went on a rant about abating Link Trinity for a while, and I was like, that boy's obsessed.
Laws.
No, I
that's a
remember
lot,
for a
Loz.
long time you were playing Trinity because you were the only healer in our entire squad.
Oh, back when Blessing was broken, yeah?
Back when
Yeah,
Blessing was broken.
Okay.
And stuck in a
I do it
jitsu.
every day, yeah, it's true.
All right, this is the last little trivia section. Now we're going to ask you on the stage, do you really know Warframe? Which main quest has been played the most in the past 30 days? Is it Chains of Hero, Octavia's Anthem, Vor's Prize, or The War Within?
Change
Boris
the power.
Prize.
Vor's prize.
War Within.
Guys, what do you think?
Go Octavia's Anthem, I'm going for.
I reckon War Within.
What did you say, sorry, Headshot?
War Within.
War Within.
Chains of Harrow.
Hydroxy?
I think War Within.
Vor's Prize. Two winners over here. Which Warframe was equipped the most in 2017 so far? Frost Prime, Excalibur, Octavia, Loki Prime.
Loki Prime.
Excalibur.
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 Frost Prime?
Excal.
I think
Sorry, what'd you guys say?
Frost.
Excalibur.
Excalibur.
Frost Prime.
Boom.
Excalibur.
You tricking us.
Since the beginning of 2017, how many Juggernauts have died?
C.
You say C?
So I have a rivalry with them because I do a lot of Kuva missions that end up as Kuva floods in the infested places. And I run public, so people kill everything. So I'm going to go with the lowest number.
You're going
because
B.
clearly,
What do you guys think down there?
B.
A.
D.
D?
Only because we had that alert where you had to kill a Juggernaut, I'm going to say A.
Mohammed, what do you think?
B.
It's B. All right. That is actually the end of our YouTuber panel, because guess what? It's 4:33. We made it through an hour and a half, and I didn't run out of
oh
questions.
my God.
So, thank you very much to everyone on stage with me. I'm sorry if I embarrassed you, Magamu, with your cipher unhacking abilities. You guys want to have any last words, or are you ready to get out of here?
I would like to thank Megan for busting out Mogamu on his cipher hacking abilities because now I'll be able to use that against him forever.
You're welcome.
Hi. All the people that joined. Hello.
Thank you,
TennoCon
D.
is awesome. That's all I'm going to say. It's nice to meet you guys. Really
Yeah, and
amazing.
also a big thank you to all of the other YouTubers out there that maybe weren't able to make this panel or weren't able to be a part of here, because we have an amazing community that you guys should really check out the Warframe Partners page and just kind of browse through, find new people that you love, because it's all about having a lot of different perspectives. So definitely check them out, not just us up here, because it's great to be up here and everything, but it's also about the community as a whole, whether it's YouTube or Twitch. Check them out on the Partners page.
And I certainly want to thank DE for bringing us all here to this lovely day with all you lovely people and making us your indentured servants.
And play more Captura.
Sure.
I just want to thank everyone who's come here. I mean, it was a bit empty at the start, and now it looks absolutely rammed. So thank you all for listening to us ramble on, and thank you, Megan, for giving us things to ramble on about.
I'm just glad I didn't have to hit anybody. I was ready. I'm so ready. Headshot? Anything?
Thanks very much for hosting the panel, Megan. Thanks to everybody for being here, and I hope you all have a fantastic rest of the convention.
Speaking of rest of the convention, the Cosplay Show is up next. Someone's going to win $1,000.
Wait, dollars? Not platinum, like dollars.
So, as a final thing, I think I can speak for pretty much everybody on stage here that we're all super happy to be here, and it's just been a really awesome experience. And I'm pretty sure, if anybody has any objections, let me know. If you guys see us and you want to say hi, just do it. We're all nice and approachable, so just say hi if you want to.
Thank you, everyone, for watching.